All right, guys, we're back with question 3. Reread paragraph 5. Which of these is a point that helps support the second part of the author's argument? So the argument's the same, but now we need evidence to back up the second part. Video games should play a larger role in the classroom as long as students know when to stop playing. Is it because gaming in the classroom leads to lower grades? Teachers need to understand the downfalls of overgaming. Video games in the classroom aren't perfect, or too much gaming can affect a student's grades. So a student needs to know when they should stop playing, right? Because it can start to affect their grades if they're over gaming, right? If they're playing too much. So as long as students know when, not when the teacher necessarily needs to make them stop playing, although that would happen too. I didn't say that gaming leads to lower grades. It says if you over game, that could have a negative effect. So the best option being too much gaming can affect a student's grades. So a student needs to be aware of when they need to stop playing. Question 4, reread paragraph 3. Which of these is evidence that helps to prove the author's point? So their point is video games are entertaining. They can help get students more excited about learning. Bored students don't learn very well. Students today are used to playing video games. A survey found that 65% of students feel bored in class every day. If students had video games, no students would come to school bored. Well, let's look back at paragraph 3. It says it's a sad fact that not all students are eager to come to school every day. If video games played a bigger role in class, that might change. So a survey from a group at Indiana University found that 65% of students feel bored in class. Bored students don't learn very well. Because video games are entertaining, they can get students more excited about learning. So which is the best evidence to back that up? Well, I think that a survey that was actually done by the university would be really good evidence that 65% of people are bored, students are bored, and that maybe by playing video games, you'd get a little bit more excited about learning and learn more. And we know that bored students don't learn very well. You need to be active and engaged in your learning. Reread paragraph 4. Which of these is evidence that helps to prove the author's point? Video games can inspire students to not give up when they do poorly. Failure in school usually means a poor grade and a feeling of defeat. McGill University did a study on the effect of video games on user self-esteem. Video games have benefits in the classroom besides grabbing students' interest. Or a study found that playing certain games gave students more confidence. Well, they're saying that video games can inspire students to not give up. Let's look back at paragraph 4. All of these things are going to be in this paragraph, right? It says they have benefits beyond grabbing students' interest. Here it says McGill University, that they can give you more confidence. But if the point is that they inspire me not to give up when I'm doing poorly, would failing in school, meaning I have a poor grade and then I'm feeling defeated, go with that point? Would having a study done on self-esteem back up video games inspiring us to not give up? No, that's kind of in the opposite. Video games have the benefit of grabbing students' interest. May be true, but not necessarily inspiring students not to give up. Or a study found that certain games gave students more confidence. So they didn't give up. They were more confident in themselves. When they did poorly, they tried again. I think that study backs it up the most. And again, it's coming from an actual study, not just the author's kind of opinion. Reread paragraph 5. Which of these is evidence that helps to prove the author's point? Too much gaming can be harmful for students. So a small amount of video game usage is common in the US. That doesn't really back up it being harmful to students. Researchers concluded that overgaming can lead to poor grades. Well, that would be harmful. A study followed 3,000 children who played video games for more than an hour a day. Okay, but that doesn't really prove the point that it's harmful. It doesn't say what they learned. Or a study of 64 million American kids found they played video games on average an hour a day. Again, they studied those kids, but doesn't necessarily say that it was harmful. The only one that shows something negative is that overgaming leads to poor grades, right? Poor grades being harmful. Reread paragraph 4. Which of these gives weak support to the author's point? So now we want the one that's not very good support. And I'll tell you, the first time I went through this, I missed that part and I got this one wrong because I wasn't reading the question fully. We want the one that's not giving good support. Classrooms need an update that includes using video games. So students today are used to playing video games outside of school. Okay, that's true. That backs up that maybe we need to update our classrooms, right? Kids play these games outside of school. They're used to it. They know how to use it. Video games should be used as learning tools along with paper and pencils. So we need to maybe update our classrooms to use paper and pencil and more technology. Teaching with video games will be much better than teaching the traditional way. Kind of saying, forget about the traditional way. We should just teach with video games. That's not what the author was saying, right? He was saying maybe a combination, an update, not getting rid of one. Or the world beyond school is rapidly changing. Yeah, the world around us is changing. It's more technologically advanced, and we need to update what's happening in our classrooms because the world that you guys are living in and that we're all living in is very different. So saying kind of get rid of the traditional and just video game isn't very good evidence to back up his point. All right, and our last question here, I believe, reread paragraph 4. Which of these is evidence that could be added to give strong support to the author's point? Classrooms need an update that includes using video games. So now we want strong support. We want the one that really backs it up. A survey showed that video games help 47% of struggling students improve. Well, that's pretty good support, right? 47% of students made improvements with this. That makes me want to really consider it. In a survey, high school teachers are the biggest users of video games in the classroom. Well, the high school teachers using the video games doesn't make me think I need to add it to all classrooms, right? A survey showed that 67% of young adults ages 18 to 29 say they play video games. Probably true, but they're not the ones that are in the classrooms, right? These are young adults. These are people that are in college or working. So that doesn't go with our classrooms needing an update. And in a survey, 45% of teachers said they'd use video games if they had more time. Okay, so if they had time, but they feel like they don't have enough time, they are not going to use the video games unless they had more time in the day because they have other stuff they need to do. So I think the one that backs it up the best is going to be the one showing the improvement, right? Struggling students are actually making growth. Maybe those 45% of teachers should take away some of that paper pencil and use some of these video games to help their students improve, like that survey showed. Click done.